the third paper is English. And now
Yep.
this is important. Like the two time I missed because of this one only. Like people don't focus on that, but we tend
Mm-hmm.
to forget that there's a 100 marks objective, 100 marks economics, 100 marks English. So it's one
English.
third.
Right.
So,
Right.
so I would suggest take a test series of descriptive English. And like first time I missed by 1 mark, second time I missed by half mark. When I
Okay.
took the test series,
Mm-hmm.
they told me like it's your English is okay. You just not writing the pressy. You are not writing in the format, the correct format.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I corrected the format. So imagine I would have taken that in the first attempt only, and I would have written in the correct format the pressy.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly the marks would have increased by more than 1 marks.
Right.
So I would suggest like do not take that paper lightly. Prepare, read newspaper. So prepare a 300 word essay on the topics currently in use. And like I will give a test series, and you have not prepared much for that. Just give a 3 test series, 5 test series, 5 test series for
Mm-hmm.
descriptive English. But like just do not go without any preparation for that paper. Like
Right.
you cannot, like economic services is 100 in 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's 100 in 300 here. So we cannot ignore this.
Right.
And then they are these are then in interview is 75 marks. And
Before going to interview part, I would like to interrupt you on that. Like first, yeah, we got a fair idea about paper one, paper two, and paper three. Now I will go little deep on all three paper. Like for paper one, you have said that paper one is we have paper one objective portion. Is there any negative mark for paper one?
yes,
Okay, so how is the pattern? Like what should be the strategy for
that
paper
depends.
one?
Paper
Okay.
one, I would say concepts should be pretty clear,
Mm-hmm.
especially in micro and econometrics. And do not ignore the basics. Like
Right.
while reading econometrics, we ignore stats,
Mm-hmm.
and they heavily focused on stats this part.
Okay, okay.
So, and like anything can happen. So sometimes they might ask like, what are the tests for autocorrelation? That's all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you just click. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they ask start the high tough questions from stats,
Okay.
which like many times many econometrics students may not know. So basic stats. So what will happen? That's why I said, I gave 3 times, and
Mm-hmm.
like economics paper two paper was at the same format. This paper changed like anything. Like it became from JNU entrance to DSE entrance in just a matter of 3 years.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So for paper one, did you prepared any? Did you practice any mock test, or did any followed any mock test series or any books for MCQ practice?
No,
Okay. And you just
but
gone
I
through the.
think
Mm-hmm.
my study at IGID has helped me.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
they taught me econometrics from basics.
Got it.
That
Mm-hmm.
like my concepts got clear, and that helped me. So like uh, unlike the past 2 attempts, I
Mm-hmm.
got very less marks in interview this time.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference in the first paper was so high. It was like I think I got highest in that paper one.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great.
That like the less marks of interview compensated for that. Like
Okay.
it
Okay.
compensated for the less marks in
Mm-hmm.
interview. So I
Okay.
think
Got
this
it.
is that important paper because it's completely up to you. It's an objective paper.
Mm-hmm.
How much and like numerical. So concepts and numerical should be applied in numericals because they can't ask you concepts
Mm-hmm.
in objective. So they ask concept to um, numerical. So get the numerical part done, get the calculation part done. Like they deliberately do not allow calculators, and even like the ISNM numerical will have some calculation. You have to
Mm-hmm.
multiply something to something. So
Mm-hmm.
get they test all these things through that paper. So get used to that one also.
Okay. Okay.
Numerical
Okay.
solving.
So in a nutshell, for paper one, I have to clear my concept. I have to have idea on statistics, and that numerical part I have to be strong. That thing. And if I want to follow, I have to clear my basic concept. I have to follow some book like you have mentioned that Gujarati, and any other book you have mentioned. Can you mention please again?
I think for micro variant and Cossanus would be good.
Okay. Mm.
Macro, Don Bush, and there is one like it for concepts. It's for
Mm-hmm.
no, not for objective paper. One is modern macroeconomics by Snowdon. So
Okay.
like if you want to study get good concept about macro,
Mm-hmm.
one can go, but it's not for objective paper.
Got it.
I would say um, Don Bush. I would say.
John. Okay, 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 fine, fine. So, and we have to clear some cutoff. Can you give us any idea about that? Like, how much that is the cutoff to get? Like, if I clear the cutoff of paper one, then I can go to appear for paper two and three. So, what is the around
That
the
that that depends on number of seats,
right?
and
Okay.
that depends on the difficulty of paper. So I cannot give you a number.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, but clearing like it is a marks in which the marks gets added in the final
Right.
score. So just clearing it
Mm-hmm.
uh, may not suffice because the gap
Right.
will be so large
Right.
that if
And here is the
clear,
point where we can score big. So we have to score as much as
hmm,
possible, and that will be helpful for paper two and paper three or for interview also. Okay, okay.
hmm,
So we get a clear idea about paper one. Now we will go to paper two and paper three. And paper two and paper three, you have already mentioned a lot all about that thing. So just to get a brief on that, like paper two, you have told that we have two sections, like two section. Within that two section, I have to answer 5% out of 10 questions. And any suggestion on on this question on this section from you, like which type of question should I choose? Should I go by high scoring question, or should I go by where I can write I can write from my comfort? How?
choose your comfort. Choose your comfort. मतलब,
Okay.
if you know all 10,
Mm-hmm.
I would say choose three theoretical questions
Mm-hmm.
rather than Indian economy. But the priority should be your comfort. Like even if you write good answers in Indian economy, like all
Mm-hmm.
the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I told you, they literally asked a chapter from
Yeah,
economics.
right.
Like if you
Yeah.
remember that
Mm-hmm.
chapter, but if you should write, you should
Mm-hmm.
write, and you can add your own. Like there was a question about the growth inequality.
Mm-hmm.
So in the economic chapter, a survey they write, they have a discussion like for developing country, it's they should focus on growth rather than inequality
Yeah.
and
Okay.
develop their basic argument, and the developed
Mm-hmm.
country should focus more on growth and less on inequality
Okay.
reduction.
Mm-hmm.
So and they gave a lot of arguments. So I wrote all what I
Mm-hmm.
have studied in the survey, but I added like why it's so.
Right.
I added Kuznets curve in that hierarchy that uh,
Mm-hmm.
since due to the Kuznets curve, this is what is happening. So
Got it.
you can go beyond the economic survey also, but
Mm-hmm.
you can get the questions, what kind of question that will come. So then you can prepare more. So now though they have changed the format of economic survey. Earlier it was like part one was in which they give the idea about they give the ideas, new debate, and the
Mm-hmm.
second part they used to give the survey. That was the actual survey
Okay. Mm-hmm.
about each sector of the economy. But now they have
Mm-hmm.
combined into one. Still, I think the debates the economic survey introduces every year is extremely relevant for economic survey question also
Mm-hmm.
and DEPR question also.
Okay, okay, okay. So for paper, and one thing that one you have been told already, that paper two main challenge is the writing, that writing the whole thing in a short time one, and another thing in a good manner, in a good way. So that is the point. So in here also, any book suggestion, any notes from your side that we can I follow any books for this?
I think answer writing practice, like
Okay.
if you are an UPSC aspirant or
Mm-hmm.
economic, I don't think so you need that. But if you're not that, because someone like studying in masters or MPhil
Mm-hmm.
and giving the exam, seeing that like it's a research job,
Mm-hmm.
then I think you should practice and like,
Okay.
and just
Okay.
like one question they asked about general equilibrium. So in 6 page you have to explain the whole that diagram, like
Okay.
the uh, general equilibrium term, the final diagram.
Mm-hmm.
So like take pen paper and just write like, okay, I have understood general equilibrium. Can I express it in 6 pages,
Mm-hmm.
7 pages, 8 pages? Writing all the assumptions, then writing all the theories, explaining all, and like always mark the graphs. So graphs in which the points are not there,
Mm-hmm.
graphs which are not labeled, and those points are not explained in text,
Mm-hmm.
is have no meaning. So they are just lines.
Right, right, right. That
So like
that that
these,
explainability is the main key point of second paper. Like we have to write, and we have to in before exam we have to practice on that also. Got it.
hmm
Okay. Okay. Now, though we have an idea about paper two. Now we will go to paper three. That you have already told that paper three is also a vital thing. We, as it carried one third of the total marks, so we have to be give importance to that paper three. Can you a little bit say about the pattern or question pattern of paper three?
one is they ask you 40 marks essay,
Okay.
30 marks Prezi,
Okay.
and 30 marks comprehension.
And all these are on recent topic, that on current affairs on recent topic.
Essay most probably will be on current topic,
Okay.
others not. Like
Okay.
just know the format of writing a Prezi. Just
Mm-hmm.
know the format of writing a three. So this is for UPSC aspirant. Writing an essay in mains, 3 hour essay in mains, and writing a
Mm-hmm.
300 word essay is like two very different things. So just know the format of writing a,
Mm-hmm.
a 300 word essay. Just know how to write Prezi. Like like it should be in one para. It should be in own words. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and these small things will matter. Like this will change 5 to 10 marks in your score. And like
Okay.
I have seen now that like missing it by 1 marks or half marks
Mm-hmm.
is a miss. And when you
Right.
get that half marks, so your life completely changes. So
Right. Right.
do not take anything lightly.
Right. And did you practice any website or follow any website for essay or any notes?
So I told you, I joined the descriptive test series. So like even the general cadre RBI or
Mm-hmm.
NABARD or any banking exam, they have this descriptive English paper. So I joined the test series for English descriptive.
Okay. Okay.
But they were three test series, and the guy gave me
Mm-hmm.
the feedback. All these like your Tracy format is not correct. And all this.
Mm-hmm.
That helped.
So, like paper three, for paper three also practice is the key of that, or gaining that achievement, gaining that perfection. That is for paper
It is.
three also. We have to write out. We have to take the test series also. Okay, fine. So now I go to the interview part. Now, can you say that what is the time gap between that completion of paper three and that result is out, and then I am going to interview? So what is the time gap between that?
Time gap between
Is that very?
paper
Mhm.
three, no, it does not very much, and result is around 1 month.
Okay.
But the interview, like the time of the the conclusion of all the interviews
Mm-hmm.
and the mains result
Mm-hmm.
is 4 5 months. So
Okay.
they they take the interview along with the general career people. So they have
Okay.
uh, So like around they interview 1,000 people.
So I
So
will
they
get around
usually
3 months for the preparation of interview
three, 4 might
okay.
not. Now you might be called
Earlier. Hmm.
earlier also. What in interview, I think what they actually want to see your confidence.
Hmm.
If you have done some research, like you are doing MPhil or something, some research,
Hmm.
even in master, like you have done some research and you can explain it well, it's quite good. If you are
Okay.
working somewhere and using some econometrics model, they will ask on it, and if you can explain well, they also like ask you conceptual econometrics questions there.
Hmm.
And sometimes like I think just to intimidate you, like they were asking me like why OLS is ordinary, something like that. So
Okay.
we be prepared for these kinds of questions also. If you are working and like your work is focused on some area of econometrics, then be
Hmm.
ready for that. Like
Okay.
and this is what they want. Like
Hmm.
most work paper is time series econometrics.
Right. Okay.
So like if you work in some bank, some insurance, you will do this data crunching and time series.
Hmm.
They may get interested in you, and then like they want to ask you the technical, like what you do, how you model, and if you can explain it well, you might score very high marks.
So mainly then focus in interview was like interview is like that your CV and your working profile all on this. Do they ask any question about that current affairs or current topic?
Sometimes yes,
Okay. So I have to stay updated on that also.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, and like the panel is mixed, so
Okay.
there will be only one or two people for from economic side. The
Okay.
other two three people will definitely from general side, so they will ask general question only.
Okay.
So is so like be ready for both a very technical economics interview or
Hmm.
very general interview which they ask for the general cadre candidate.
Hmm.
Sometimes they put the same panel for the DPR. Like in morning they will interview general cadre and in evening they will start interviewing DPR.
Okay.
Same panel.
Okay.
So be ready for both kind of interview. But yes, focus on your CV, focus on current keep the concepts ready and like
Hmm.
be prepared for these kind of bouncer. Why OLS is ordinary, why GLS is generalized, something like.
Got it. Got it. So can you share your experience, like your that particular day of interview, that your experience, that 15-20 minute of that time, that your experience?
Uh, like I was working in KPMG and like life in KPMG is quite hectic. So I was only worried about the deadline which I have to after interview.
Okay.
And I'm not told in the KPMG that I'm going for interview. So I came and I the like most part I was worrying about my deadline only that
Mm-hmm.
and I have to submit somehow some and like it was waiting. So they call you at 9 and interview might go up for up to 1. So
Mm-hmm.
you might be called at 9:30, you might be called 1. So I have to wait for 3 hours. And then I went and they ask you all kinds of questions, like one theoretical macro question, then this a barrage of theoretical econometrics question, why OLS is all, why S war, difference between structural war and war,
Okay.
uh, R bars. So and then the profile at the questions about profile at KPMG, then
Mm-hmm.
question about my research in MPhil, then questions about current economic. I got above average marks, but I didn't get good marks in interview this time. Earlier, I think it's more about confidence,
You're right. Okay.
and I think more about confidence. I think.
Okay. Here I want to ask one thing that suppose in an interview, in an interview, a student is going of just completed his MS Masters in economics. A student is going with doing 2 year of private job in banking sector, and a candidate is going with like you like doing MPhil or PhD. Then between all three student, who will get most advantage, or everyone gets same advantage?
I would say in terms of marks, everyone has same advantage. In terms of why, what is the background mechanism, each one
Mhm,
is. So if you are fresh, that is your advantage, but that is also your disadvantage. That if you have experience, that is your
mhm,
disadvantage, because like at RBI you have to retire at 60. So while seeing all that, they will see that like if you join at 28, 29, 30,
mhm.
you like if you are joining at 24,
Yeah, okay.
so they will see. But then like if you're 30 and you have worked somewhere, they have a lot of questions for you. Like they see, okay, you are experienced, you have learned from them. But like if you're a good master candidate, and like if you are
Mhm.
showing knowledge of technical topics, which um, experienced person might like, they will give you very, very high marks. So everybody has, I think, equal opportunity. Some like the same thing can be advantage and disadvantage.
Okay.
Is way how we project it. So they will ask everyone like, why should we take you? You have no experience.
Mhm,
Then some experience. Why should we take you? Like you are so old.
mhm.
And I think it's not the answer that matters. Like it's not, it's the answer that matters. It's not the point that you are 30 or you are 24. It's how you argue your case.
Yeah, right, right. The main point is that confidence on that platform, on that 30 minute you are showing, that is the main key of that exam, that interview. Okay. One final question I would like to hear from you, that you from when you started that preparation for that exam, for that IBI DEPR, and let's say you started from 1 year, the last 1 year you are doing preparing for that exam, and within this 1 year, what is your proportion, like for paper one there's a different type of exam, like different type of preparation, for paper two or paper three different, so what is your proportion, how do you focus, or how did you focus on these three paper, how do you distribute your time, and from when you started seriously preparing for this exam?
Yeah. I never prepared much for this exam. So I prepared mainly for civil.
Okay.
Uh, and since my optional was economics, I knew like the economics course like in totality.
Mm-hmm.
Like in objective, like if you throw question from me from development, then suddenly from micro, then suddenly from macro, I can answer it. So I think the bulk of my preparation was civil preparation in taking economics optional.
Okay.
And civil for preparation, then you get current affairs knowledge, then you
Mm-hmm.
read economic survey, then you read then you know answer writing. So for paper 2,
Mm-hmm.
even your English gets improved for paper 3. So
Okay.
I never prepared much for DPR. The only
Mm-hmm.
thing I prepared especially for DPR is this descriptive English test series.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Okay. Okay. Fine. Hello. So,
hello.
one last final tip for the students who are appearing, who are trying to prepare for this exam. Like this year, the exam is on July 2nd, phase one exam for RBI DAPR. So the final tips for them, the students who is going to be appear.
Uh, like focus on basics, focus on numericals, then focus on writing, then focus on writing. Like know the format of exam. Uh, like have you read the Art of War by Jujutsu? You know, the first thing they know, like know your enemy and know yourself. Uh, you will never lose a war, something like. So
Mm-hmm.
know the format of exam, know your preparation, and I think you will do well. And like if you fail, use that experience and try next time.
Okay, okay. Thank you. The book you mentioned in the last, The Art of War, that is a very, very good book, very well written. But thanks for your session. Like this will be a very, very helpful, very informative. I hope this will be very informative for the students who will going to prepare for the exam. Thanks for your time, and thanks to everyone. Like, thank you. So that's it for
Thank you.
today. And in the next session, we will come with any another exam or another subject. So thank you. Thanks again, Kaustubh. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.